What is up, everybody? Cover 2 Monday is here. The first one after week 1. I got my man Coach in the building with me. What's up, Coach? How are you?
What up? Just got in from moving into a brand new crib, bro. So I just got everything set up. I'm sitting here holding on to the signal. But we're here. I was able to see the game. I'm excited, man. So let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're definitely going to talk about the game. It's funny because you and I talked on we talk on the phone pretty regularly, but
Right.
we purposefully really didn't talk about the game because we just didn't want to take any like ideas and kind of know where we're coming from. So don't really know exactly your thoughts on the game. Unfortunately, you were unable to stream last night, so I'm really in the dark on the game. But there's some big time news that's happened with the 49ers today. Lots of moving and shaking. So I'm going to give you some of the news and then just get your thoughts. First of all, Kittle is injured, which we knew. He's out anywhere 3 to 5 weeks is what they're saying. I think he's going to probably end up on IR. I mean, if he's going to be out at least 3 weeks, then you might as well just put him on IR and save the roster spot. So I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up there. Ben Barch also injured. He's day to day with some sort of knee injury. Jawan Jennings, his MRI came back clean. They're going to do a CT scan, but he should be good to go. But the real news was something we didn't know, which was Brock Purdy's also injured. Injured is his non-throwing shoulder and also his toe. Kyle Shanahan said that the toe is the bigger concern, and his status for Sunday is up in the air. Not great news coming out of week 1. This team certainly can't afford it. So the question is, what are your thoughts about all these injuries, man?
It's par for the course, man. It's what we've been dealing with all off season. We've been one of the most injured teams since this regime has been here in 2017. We're going on almost 10 years. And really, there's a switch. There's a switch with me, Jess. Once football is being played, I get a lot more prickly. I get a lot more abrasive. I'm aggressive because the game is here now. So the takes are over. The narratives are over. We get to really talk about what's on the field. And to be honest with you, play ball. It is what it is, bro. You had a chance to get these guys healthy. You sat them out. They had a light camp. They had an even lighter offseason rollout for OTAs. I'm keeping the same energy, bro. I'm not all of a sudden forgetting about where we are with these guys just because we played one game, right? When they came through for rookie OTAs, they were talking about guys not playing because we're trying to save guys up. When they came through for OTAs, they talked about, oh, we got everybody. Everybody's participating, right? We're all here. Christian was supposed to have a full go camp, right? Brock, everything was good to go. We already questioned by looking at them through the preseason, are they actually having a hard camp? Why aren't we seeing these guys play in the preseason? And now we know why. They've been limping through the entire offseason. Kyle has been piecemealing their availability, what they can do as far as what he's putting there on their workload. And we actually got to see them have to play a full 4 quarters of football. Okay. And this is the fallout. There's some guys that are out of shape, man. All right. You're going to be injured if you're out of shape. That's just the truth. All right. There's some guys that are playing way more than they should be. You're going to be injured if you're being overutilized. Okay. There's some guys that didn't have a training camp that are playing too much. You're going to get injured if you don't have a training camp and you get rolled out like a starter. So, look, man, everything is well documented on why these guys are hurt. We're not about to get into the point of talking about why the water is wet. They're not prepared. That's why they're hurt. All right. You know how you don't get hurt with football? You play football. And they haven't been playing football. Now they have to.
I also think, I mean, this is what you get when you have the core of your team they're all aging players, every single one of them, and they're all expensive. They're all expensive. You got George Kittle, who is older for a tight end, very expensive. He's out. Trent Williams, extremely old for any player, extremely expensive. He got hurt. He came back, but we already saw a scare there.
And he's out of shape.
And he is well. We'll talk about the
Come
game
on,
itself.
man.
I mean, that's certainly we
going. I mean? Hey, bro, the season is here.
CMC, old for a running back, extremely expensive,
Mhm.
already had a calf injury scare, and then got 31 touches in the game. Brock Purdy he hasn't missed a ton of time, but he's had his fair share, and he's smaller stature,
Mhm.
expensive, might miss some time already. So none of this should be a surprise. This is what happens when you rely on older players, smaller players, those types of things, and it's just where they are at. So we knew that all these guys were probably going to miss time at some point. Brock Purdy, maybe not, but Kittle, CMC, Trent Williams, it's almost more of a shock if they make it through the whole season without missing time. That would actually be the story, not them missing time at this point.
Yeah, I mean, what was the exception, not the rule, was what, the 2023 season, the Super Bowl year, when they were remarkably healthy. Outside of that,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, we haven't been utilizing our depth correctly. Some of these injuries are because of old process that we keep going through. I remember when this offense used to be able to plug and play any running back. And the beauty of this offense was the fact that we had running back by committee. That's what this offense used to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
we got a very good player coming on the end of his prime in Christian McCaffrey, and we completely threw that workflow out the window, right? To the
Yep.
chagrin of not developing guys who still turned into roses through concrete like Jordan Mason, and then squander and then squander the opportunity to have a duo with those guys. Like what I gotta be honest, like I like the acquisition of B-Rob, but watching Kyle finally use Christian with another running back, like, and actually getting them both on the field at the same, it frustrated me because we could have did this last year. We could have did this
Yeah,
last year.
absolutely. Absolutely. We could have. Well, there's other news as well. Kendrick Bourne is back, 1 year, $5 million. This one was up in the air. We knew after week one, Bourne was going to make a decision. I remember the decision was between us and Washington, but also, I guess Miami was in the mix. I don't exactly know who was suitors for sure, but I do know the 49ers got him 1 year, $5 million. I People love this, and it's fine. I'm not like bagging on the move. They need another receiver. Kendrick Bourne's a professional wide receiver,
Yeah.
but Kendrick Bourne is not special. There's nothing special about Kendrick. He's never been special. We're talking about a guy who, like, at his best is a 400 or 500 yard a year type of guy. Like, he's not great, but he is a live body, and he's probably the best third option that they have at this point. He's not a wide receiver too. Like, he's a decent player, but if he has to replace Jennings, that's a significant downgrade. It just is. So hopefully Jennings can play. But what are your thoughts about Kendrick Bourne returning?
Meh. Um,
Right.
you know, he's here because we absolutely need him. It's not like we thought this was going to be a good reunion to kind of close him out, or hey, we need a guy to supplement what we already have. I could see if we had two really good receivers and Juwan goes down, or something like that, and you pick up a Kendrick Bourne just to back up some guys that maybe are thin. But really, he's here to actually be a part of the team. Like, he's going to play. We need him to play. Juwan Jennings, we don't know when Juwan Jennings is going to be back, right? And you can't put all of this on Ricky Pearsall. That's just not fair. I understand that this is his second year, and I get the investment and what he should be and the trajectory of what they should be able to use him for, but he's going to get hurt too if Ricky Pearsall is getting like tons of targets a game, right? Like, and I understand that in theory, it sounds really cool to say, well, Ricky's the number one receiver, man. He should be getting all the balls. But really, you got to look at his plate. He's a young guy. You don't want to destroy his confidence or get him hurt from him doing a lot of things that are outside of what he's shown he could do during practice. So, it's going to be a labor of love. They're going to have to do receiver by committee again. And we might see another game where Christian McCaffrey is going to be the leading receiver.
Bro, if he gets like 30
32
touches again, that's
fucking touches, Jesse.
yeah.
32. Come on, man. Working them. Shit was senior
Yeah.
porn, man. Old ass out there doing all them reps. He can't do that shit no more. Come on, man. It's embarrassing.
It's
It's like
crazy.
watching the
It's crazy.
Jackson 5 right now. They all got out there with pop bellies talking about some ABC. It's even this 1, 2, 3. Like, come
No
on,
Michael, no
man. Like,
Michael.
mix it up.
Oh my gosh, dude. All right, one more bit of news. Actually, two more bits of news. I'm going to save the biggest news for last. But McKivitz gets a 3-year extension, $45 million after putrid offensive line play overall yesterday. Great timing. I'm sure Jawan Jennings is super happy to see this one go down. What are your thoughts on McKivitz getting that 3-year extension?
My thoughts exactly. Like, if I'm Jawan Jennings, I'm like, you gotta be kidding
Right?
me. But I mean, really, if you look at it, Jesse, it's the situations couldn't be farther apart, bro. Like this, it's not the same. Yeah. It's not the same situation. So I could see that. One thing I will say is Colton McKivitz struggled, bro. He didn't do good yesterday. I think the Niners are really good at, like, swooping in on rebound chicks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, your man left you, not doing too good. Come over to my place. You know what I'm saying? Like, Colton McKivitz is struggling. They're catching him at a very vulnerable moment right now where it's like, man, that really wasn't the best showing for your free agency. Well, we got this 15 million for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving like, all right, I'll just take this. So it is what it is, bro. I'm not really impressed by it. Colton McKivitz has got to do more. But he's going to be our starting right tackle. I mean, I think the Niners they understand what we all have known. We've been saying this for about 2 years because the numbers don't lie. We understand how they approach their offensive line, which is crazy, but they're coming up on a serious crossroads because all of these guys are coming up on their money. Now, they handle Colton McKivitz, that's fine, but Jake Brindle, Ben Barch, and now Trent Williams is a liability. And Trent Williams isn't a liability. I want to be clear about this. Trent Williams isn't a liability due to his play, but for the money he's getting paid, that's what makes him a liability.
Well,
so
he misses games every year.
Yeah, and I think he's going to miss more than 3 games this year. For sure, bro. He's playing like the first 3 seconds of the play and then giving up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about it's bad.
He has been dealing with ankle injuries for like 3 seasons, and
yeah,
I get he came back, but it looked to me like he got his ankle rolled up again when he fell down and then went into the medical tent and then came back out. I think it was an ankle thing again. It's like, man, it's just a thing for him. It's unfortunate, but it's a big body with small ankles, man. This is what happens from time to time,
Yeah. I mean, he's an athletic guy, but he's older. He was great in his heyday, but hey, man, he was holding on for dear life in pass protection, man. Like, I haven't seen the film yet because I want to see the film. Have you seen it yet?
I actually watched the defensive side more than anything. I wanted to see how the young guys look because you talked to me. You said go watch Alfred Collins, so I watched him, and then I watched all of the rookies. So I went through actually 3 or 4 times and watched each rookie individually. But you're right. I mean, and the problem is that not everybody is like this. But Trent Williams relies heavily on his athleticism. Like, he was an uber athlete. He just was. And at 37, 38 years old, athleticism goes. And when it goes, it's almost immediate. It's crazy. You see this with fighters a lot where it's like they have it and then all of a sudden it's just gone. And they're like, they can't pull the trigger. They won't punch. It's the weirdest thing. You see it all the time. I don't know if that's happening to Trent. It's game 1. I'm not going to panic fully, but I've never seen Trent look like that. And that's a scary proposition because if his athleticism just completely went overnight, he's not going to be very good. He's just not. He's going to be pretty mid. He's going to miss games, and he's really expensive. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. I hope that he's not washed, but didn't start out great. We'll say that.
Yeah, they struggled. They're just a shell of themselves, to be
Yeah.
quite honest.
Yeah.
You know, the moves are still there. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's why I liken them to like an old boy band group. Like they know the moves, they know the steps, they're all there, but they're not pulling them off because they're older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're
Like
like
they're
Fat
just
Elvis.
like fat Elvis, bro. Like he
Stands there.
knows the guitar swing, he gets it.
Yeah.
Like he gets it, but he's sweating like a stuck pig, and the polyester is chafing his nipples. It's bad, bro. And we all see it. You know what I'm saying? And so you're like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's so obvious, bro. It is. You know, like I'm so lighthearted about football, bro. Like, I love the fact that we could not be like super invested, but bro, like what you know about this team, what we know about this team, and just from like the context of what they did, like Kyle hid this team. I would have hid this shit too. I'm not even mad at him for keeping access away anymore. I'm not mad. I get it. I understand what he's like, bro. I'm not letting the fans see this shit. Hell nah.
Well, he saw it and was like, yeah, guys, listen, ease up a little bit. All right. I don't know about Super Bowl here. Let's calm down. You know,
Come on, son.
We're gonna fight to like win some games.
Exactly.
Like, okay.
Like Super Bowl. Who said anything about Super Bowl? Like, all right, hey, listen. By week 12, we're gonna look different. All right. Like, and I get it. Like all of that.
Here's what I'll promise you. We will be at every game. All right. That's the promise.
We will show up. So, I mean, I get it. You know, they're getting things together. I mean, low key, what's great about this, and I love like us kind of like just talking about this because we really have not talked about the game at all. Low key, I love the way they pulled this out because this is a microcosm of how the season is going to be.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's going to be on the defense. And Robert Saleh is going to outcoach Kyle week in and week out. And they're going to keep winning if Kyle just doesn't get in the way, if he just lets it happen. Like, bro, hold on to the ball. All right. Do all of your 20-yard line to 20-yard line offense where you can't close the deal in the red zone. All right. Roll out the kicker that you don't want to admit it was a mistake, and everybody's going to look at you freaking out on the sidelines. And then let Robert Saleh and his young, well-coached, energetic, nicely like let them go out there and win the game, because that's what happened. This defense won the game for us. And Mike McDaniel come on, man. Mike McDonald he's a boob. Like the 4th and inches, bro. Go for that. What are you doing? Come on, man. You know, Brock is an imperfect vessel. We get it. But did Brock play like a $53 million quarterback yesterday? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had 2 picks. The touchdown that he threw was a pick, okay, that got snatched by Jake Tunges. All right. I will say some things too is like Brock was holding on to the ball a lot during the game. Now, listen, that is no way. That's not 3D chess. That's not me playing 3D chess to really look out for the offensive line. That's not what I'm doing. But there were a lot of times where there were guys like sitting in the flat waiting on him to throw the ball, and he was just still baking the football, looking to get a shot down the field. The pick that he threw to Ricky Pearsall in the third, dude, there were 2 guys in the flat watching that throw. So, you know, I love
there
Brock.
was 4 guys around Ricky when he threw that pick.
4 guys, bro. Come on, man. Like, it's not that simple. Math. Like, there's only 11 guys on the field. So if there's 4 guys around the 1 guy that you threw, there's a couple of guys that were open. It's just facts.
I think that's the issue that I have, like when we talk about Brock, right, is that people can't separate play to play. They look at the game as a whole and they say, well, what's he supposed to do? He was under pressure. And it's like, I get it. But when he's throwing these interceptions and making these decisions, he's not under pressure in those plays. Like, it's great that he was under pressure half the game, but the interceptions weren't anything to do with pressure. One was just an awful decision, and the other one, he faded away like he was Jordan Love and threw off his back foot like he's got a cannon. It's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. You don't have the arm for that. You have to play within the confines of what you are. You don't have to have the strongest arm to be effective in this league, but you got to play on time and accurate. And that's when Brock's great. Some of the things that you see from Brock, the good from Brock, which is always my favorite thing, and it worked very, very well yesterday multiple times. He would get that free edge pressure, and he's so good at changing the arm angle to make, and it's a simple throw. Every time it's literally a behind the line of scrimmage throw or at the line of scrimmage. It's not a throw that's going to wow anybody, but a lot of those balls usually get tipped because quarterbacks can't change their arm angles. Brock not only can change his arm angle, but he gets his feet set really quickly. Like, that's a skill set that he has that not every quarterback does. And I'm impressed every time he does it. The flip side of that is he does make boneheaded decisions every single game. The jump pass was a great example of that. Dude,
That was
what
adorable.
the are you doing? What are you doing? Like, that's an awful decision. Throwing it into four guys, awful decision with no pressure. Throwing off your back foot, awful decision. Quite frankly, I know that it worked out, but the touchdown pass,
That was a bad
awful
decision.
decision, man. That was literally being gifted from an idiot corner in Woolen who already made one awful play. Also, Ricky pushed off, whatever, and then made another one. He waited for the ball and was like this, and Tonjes just jumped in front of him and took it. If he was aggressive, at the very least, that ball's getting batted down, probably tipped up or possibly picked. Like, it was just not a good decision. It worked out, but I'm never going to be the guy that comes in and is like, oh, no, the 49ers lost, so I'm going to grill Brock Purdy. No, I'm going to say, remember week 1 when I said the decision-making was an issue and you didn't want to listen because we won that game? Now you want to listen because we lost and the decision-making was an issue. It's like, you've got to look at everything in totality. A game is literally play-by-play. I always do fight analogies, but again, when you look at the end of a fight and one guy's super bloody and you go, well, that guy lost. But then when you break it down round by round, the way fights are judged, and it's like, well, that guy won 4 of the 5 rounds. He was the winner. He just got busted up in the last round, more so than the other guy, but he still won the fight because he won 4 of the 5 rounds. That's what I'm looking at. Play in and play out. It's not the totality of the game. It's not the result of the game. It's what happened in that individual play. And within those individual plays, a lot of boneheaded decisions for no reason. No reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Brock is an imperfect vessel. He's got to play his way through a lot of I think Brock, I said this last night to a friend of mine who was asking me about the game. And I said, in a sense, man, I really do. I feel for Brock because almost all of his biggest mistakes are when he feels the team needs more. Like, I get what he's trying to do in those moments. I really do. Like, there are some moments like the jump pass and other moments where you're like, all right, Brock, that ain't what you do. Relax. But most of the times when Brock is making mistakes, it's kind of when he's flying a little too close to the sun and he feels like, I can make a play. I can push this offense. I can be the reason why we're changing the course of what we're doing right now. And I do feel like he's cursed because you got to have that dog in you. You got to have that type of drive and that unwavering faith in your abilities to even be a Brock Purdy. You really do. Like, you can't be Brock Purdy and say, hey, I'm okay. I'm a game manager. No. Brock Purdy is redlining at all times. He's giving his best at all times. That's how he got here. But then you have to be able to understand the spot that you're in and stay in your lane and understand to take a loss or be able to decision make and maybe taking an anecdotal loss to be able to stay on course. And that's where I believe he struggles. And I can see a guy like Brock getting the money that he has, being on the team that he has, and feeling like he owes. Like, I gotta make a difference, man. I just can't be a wilting flower. I can't be a part of this, especially with all these guys going down. Like, they're talking about the real narrative. He sees that Trent Williams isn't the same guy. Like, if we can see it on television from thousands of miles away, he can see it in the locker room. He knows that George isn't the same guy. He knows this. They're going to come out and say all of the things that, are good for clips for an NFL. But I see Brock understanding that if you look at this from a standpoint that Brock's been in the league 4 years now, if he was what they say he is, he would be theoretically taking over as these guys are fading down. So that's where I feel like you're gonna see a lot of those mistakes from Brock, because he's gonna try to play outside of his frame, and that's why I feel for him, because it's a it's a catch-22.
Meanwhile, the Bears are up 7-0 on Monday Night Football. Caleb Williams starting 7 for 7, 52 yards, 2 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. 7-0
Broccoli.
So all right, let's actually do some sleeper picks here. So we got Thursday Night Football coming up. We're going to take our freebie. I think Jaden Daniels is going to get one. This is what I love about Sleeper, by the way. Promo code LSS for your 100% deposit match of up to $100. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description. But what I love about Sleeper is every week you get like a free pick. It's like a guarantee. And as long as you do at least another pick with it, you're good to go. So I'm going to give you the reins on this one. So whatever you see here, we can go Micah Parsons, more or less on a sack. We can go receiving yards for Debo. Did you see Debo looking good out there? He had a end around 20-something yard touchdown run, looking good. Terry McLaurin, 51.5 receiving yards. Eckler, 21.5 rushing yards. So we got some things here.
Okay. So number one, I'm not sold on the Commanders' offensive line. Okay. So I want Micah to get a sack.
Okay, I like this. Okay. So we'll go more on a sack. Okay. And let's try to do 2 more here. Patrick. I mean, we can do other games too.
Let's go with
I feel like this is a trap here. I feel like Austin Eckler at 21.5 rushing yards is a trap. I get it. He's a spellback, but I feel like when you see numbers like this and you're like, oh, that should be more, it's always less. So I'm going to go less.
But Krosky Merritt is their guy. They're leaning on him.
I know. So I'm going to go less on Eckler on the 21.5. I just feel like it's.
I feel that.
All right. Should we go Debo for old time's sake?
Yeah, let's go Debo.
All right, more or less. Now, what they're doing, if you notice here, they're enticing us. They've given us a promo. We can get 2 times the amount if we go more on 46.5 receiving yards, which means the safer bet is less at 1.78 times. So either way, just go with your gut on this one. This is real money, so don't, okay. Yes, oh, never mind. I can't do the promos together. So I'm going to have to swap that one out. Okay. All right, let's go Scary Terry, more or less 51.5 receiving yards.
In the last game, he struggled, man. He had 2 receptions for 27 yards. Let's go more. They got to get him going.
Okay. All right, we're going to do an entry here. We're going to go 7 times. We'll submit that entry. And another thing that I love about Sleeper, check it out. They always give you 5 minutes. If you want to cancel it, you have buyer's remorse. We don't do that here because we always let it ride. But if you have buyer's remorse, you can always cancel it, or you're like, oh, I chose the wrong one, or I want to switch this up. You got 5 minutes to back out of it. So listen, you can play daily fantasy, weekly fantasy, more or less. It's skill-based. Once again, promo code LSS. Sleeper, thank you for being the sponsor of this year's show. All right, brother, let's get back to it. What are some other thoughts from the game? Here, I've seen a lot of people in the chat, and you're the offensive line guy. I know that you watch the game from the offensive line standpoint, or from the trenches standpoint altogether. What stood out to you? Again, we know you haven't seen the all 22, so if you change your mind, it's totally okay. But just first watch through, what stood out to you in the trenches?
Well, we put up 119 rushing yards in the game out of 36 carries combined. Brock Purdy was 5 for 17. B-Rob was 9 for 33. And Christian was 22 for 69. Now, if you look at the carries that we had 31 carries for 102 yards. B-Rob averaged 3.7 yards a carry, and Christian averaged 3.1. Um, for me, I think that we can't use the running game as a decoy to get to the passing game. We are a passing team, bro. He tries a lot. Like there's times where we get away from the run, and it's kind of confusing. There was a good constant stream of getting the offensive line together in the third quarter where they had some really good runs. I think Christian at the time, he had his longest run for the day, which was 9 yards. Then he backed it up with a 6-yard run, and then B-Rob came right back, came in with a 4-yard run, and it looked good for a short amount of time. What it really is right now is that Kyle is going to have to stay in between the tackles on this, especially with B-Rob. With Christian, I just don't see the patience that he runs with. He doesn't have the strength to run that way anymore. This offensive line is built for more B-Rob than it is Christian McCaffrey because they're not necessarily strong at the point of attack. So you're going to need a guy that turns creases into gaps and turns gaps into holes. Pause, but for lack of a better term, you need a running back that's going to run up your back. Really. It's, I had backs like that where when I played or when I coached, you have running backs where, you got a guy he's going to tiptoe through the tulips. You got another guy that's going to slash at any piece of daylight he sees. Then you got another dude who's just a bull in the china cabinet. And it's like, dude, you better get out the way because I'm telling him to run up your back. You need to get out of the way. So either going to get blocked or you're going to get ran over. And those are the type of guys that you need with this type of offensive line because they're not going to be reaching guys. They're not physical. I need to be able to see Dominic Pooney. That I don't want to speak on him without seeing the film. But from what I saw out of Ben Barch, struggled. That elbow, I don't know if that thing is healthy, but he doesn't stay parallel to the line of scrimmage at all. I mean, a little bit of fight and he's getting punched and shed. I was seeing him getting shed and discarded at a regular clip. Jake Brindle, we don't have enough time. We will never know. I mean, Jake Brindle, he must be on the Epstein files. I don't even know how he's still here. Like I got no clue how Jake Brindle is still on this team. All right. And then Colton McKivitz is just still Colton McKivitz. I don't necessarily think that he's improved. He himself, they're just not good with athletic NFL linemen. I hate to put it that way, but the truth is that if you get a front that likes to play 5 down and they're going to beat us up single-handedly, there's nothing we can really do about it. It's just simply put, the offense, and then really that's the run game. And that's well documented. But where they saved their best work for pass protection. That was where they really put it in for pass protection. I mean, let's just start with our fearless leader, Trent Williams. You want to talk about Disney on ice, like the ice capades. My man, no strength, all right, in his lower half. Legs are not there. Trent was coming out of his jersey. He is out of shape, okay? He's bigger than he has been before. I would venture to say Trent Williams is playing at about like 330 pounds, 340. He's big, okay? Them jowls is coming out that face mask. And I'm telling you, his hard set, he's not punching on guys because he doesn't have the upper body strength. And when he's doing like his 45-degree set, he's still got the speed. He still has the technique, but the physicality is not there. It is not there. And you can see there was one play where Trent was in pass protection and he lost position. And because he lost position, he thought that, okay, he got ran into like the lap of Brock Purdy, and the defender reached over and grabbed Brock, but Brock spun away. But at the time, it was almost kind of like Trent didn't know the choreograph of the dance because he just stopped and turned around like, oh, Brock is sacked. And it's like, no, he got away. Keep playing. And Trent was literally just standing there. You know what I'm saying? There was another play where there was another play where Trent got the holding call where they're going on an off tackle dive, and Trent grabs the guy, literally pulls him away from Christian and throws him on the ground and just stands there. Literally stands there, not making athletic moves. Like, that is what they're doing. They're not even playing they're not even playing to the echo of the whistle. That's what you get done in camp. You know, so Ben Barch in the pass game, my God, he does not move his feet. Okay. He gets locked onto a guy and he really wants to have a brother-in-law agreement with the guy. And they're sitting there titty bumping and he's rocking with the guy. But as soon as he gets shagged, ripped, swam on, he's not moving his feet. He's not fighting. And he opens up the barn door. He doesn't keep his shoulder square with the line of scrimmage. The same thing with Jake Brindle. I mean, these guys are just not physical. All right. They don't have fight. All right. Colton McKivitz and Dominic Pooney, they're the better side of us, especially for pass protection. But I would even say, honestly, the right side of our offensive line is better than the left side of our offensive line. For what I saw, just not even looking at the film, but if I was looking at this game, I was like, yo, you guys need to run right. You guys need to run right. Like, at least they're getting like a little bit of movement. But you see Christian, there was one, did you guys see the one play? There was 2 plays in a row where Christian ran. I think it was a 2nd and short, 3rd and short. Christian ran the ball 2 times in a row, 0 yards, got hit in the back. As a matter of fact, he lost yards 2 plays in a row. That was in between Ben Barch and Jake Brindle. They were getting blown up. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff, we played a young team that doesn't know how to play yet, but they were dangerous enough to expose us. When we start playing teams that have a little bit of coaching on their side, that know how to play, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. You know? And I don't take pride in saying any of this shit, but it's just the truth. It's what's on film. It's what's there. They don't look good.
So there's a chart, and I'm not going to pull it up, but it's consistency versus rushing yards over expected. So it's one side of the axis is rushing yards over expected per carry. The other side is percentage of your rushes that you actually went over expectation. Christian McCaffrey, who I just seemed like he'd lost a step. That's all I said. I didn't say he couldn't be effective. I didn't say he's not a good player. I just said he didn't seem to be as explosive. And a lot of people really didn't like that comment, which that's fine. David Lombardi tried to dunk on me, but I'm doing the dunking today because Christian McCaffrey was the worst in the entire NFL yesterday of all running backs on percentage of carries exceeding expected yards per carry, and was like bottom 5 in just overall expected yards per carry at -1 yard. So what this means is, this is not saying, oh, the offensive line was bad, so he wasn't able to get rushing yards. This is saying, based off of how the play happened, there is an expected amount of yards you're supposed to get with that. That includes if they jailbreak blitz and everybody gets through, you weren't expected to get any yards there. Like, that's the way that this works. He was the worst in the entire NFL at exceeding what the expectation was on a given play from a run carry percentage. I don't care if it's game 1. Christian McCaffrey in 2023, he would never be on that part of the chart. It just wouldn't happen. So he's the best thing about Christian and why he's going to be effective. Pass game, man. He is so effective in the pass game.
Yeah.
He still can get yards in the run game too. But at the same time, that explosion, that next gear, I don't see it, man. And again, it's one game. We'll see. I didn't see it in the clips that were posted in training camp. I didn't see it yesterday. I reserve the right to be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll come on and say, hey, you know what? I was wrong. But that's not a good stat, man. That's just not a Christian McCaffrey is elite stat still.
Ain't nothing wrong with being incorrect on certain things, man. It is what it is. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Look, hey, put the Smitty on here, man. Let's give him some fame, bro. I feel like smacking a bitch. Put him on the screen. Like, look, bruh, the season is here, and we talking about what we see on film. If they would have walked out there and stomped a mud hole in the Seahawks, that's what we would be talking about. Okay? That's exactly what we would be talking about. My man, You gotta get a life. That's the number one thing you should do. Okay. And then number two, you have to understand that being on the platform and engaging in the content and saying that you don't like the content is the same thing that we're doing to the 49ers. So if you can criticize us, then why can't we criticize the team? You see how I did that there? Okay,
Mhm.
so you got to calm down, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the post game show, I immediately said like, "Hey, you know, it's week 1. You get out of there with a win, you got to be great." But listen, this is what people that this is how I know that you don't know shit about football. I'm just going to be frank here. Is because the coaches in the film room are doing way worse than what coach and I are doing. We're
Come on,
being
bro.
very kind. Those guys are after that game, you saw Kyle's expressions throughout the game. You don't
Bro,
think they're getting ripped to shreds in the film room? They absolutely are. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's about what happens play in and play out. So, listen, I would love for you to just sit in on a film session and you'd probably leave there crying if you think this is like bitching. I mean, that's just the facts of it. Like, toughen up, bud. Toughen
yeah.
up, Buttercup. All right, let's
Yeah, right. And you know what? You better buckle up too, because this shit ain't stopping. It's week one, and you think that we are just getting started, bro.
All right, let's hit these supers real quick. Too much sauce says Jake Tonjes, a needle mover for us in the season. I think he asked this like a week ago, which is crazy. And then Jake Tonjes was an actual needle mover in that game by happenstance. I don't know, man. I think it's as good as Kittle being out. The moment Kittle's back, Jake Tonjes is really irrelevant. But man, he had himself a hell of a play, a couple hell of a plays, and the game winner, man. You got to give him credit for that for sure. And
Tons of
you
credit, man.
asked this and kind of called it last week. So kudos to you. Uh Panami Lovato says game summary task failed successfully. Exactly. Thank you very
Exactly.
much. Cryptic says Brock injury prone or not investing in the line, not investing line the consequences. Not a happy camper knowing he tends to miss time. Don't like McBunn signing no one better. Yeah, I mean, Mac Jones is the backup quarterback in this league, and I think he's one of the better ones. Brock hasn't missed time yet, so let's not panic on that. But
Yeah, I don't want him to miss time. I hope he plays.
yeah, they're gonna need him to play. They're not winning with. I don't know if they're winning that game with
Mac
Mac Jones.
Jones.
Nakfa says Broccoli Trent was hobbled and Pooney. Our DBs are kind of sus.
I want to push back on that. I
Okay,
was
I don't think the
actually
DBs were sus.
impressed
Who was too?
with Upton Stout and the secondary as a whole. Sam Darnold was 16 for 23 for only 150 yards. He was averaging 6.5 yards a carry. Okay. The longest pass that the Niners gave up was a 40-yard pass to JSN, and that was it. Outside of that, the longest pass out for every receiver that got a ball yesterday, and that would be 4 other receivers out of the 5. The longest catch that anybody caught was 9 yards from Cooper Kupp. I mean, without Jackson Smith and Jigba, the only thing that they had really was 7 receptions. JSN accounted for 9 receptions. So they picked on Upton Stout. They did. But I love the reserve. I like the fact that you could be a rookie. A lot of guys would have went in the tank and they would have had to get him off the field, right?
Mhm.
But his confidence is unwavering. The kid knows he can play. And the defense, man. All right, look, we talked about the offense and how they looked bad and how the best thing that they did was hold the line of the time of possession. But the defense collectively, bro, they were playing for one another. I love the energy of the defense yesterday. This was a defensive win. This is a defensive win yesterday, bro. I loved it.
Yeah, it definitely was. Nakfa says Kittle out 3 to 5 weeks. We will see more Ricky and CMC. I want to see different ways to get Brian Robinson involved. Thank God for an easy schedule. You say that, but I look at it and say, let's say Kittle misses this whole stretch. Would you be shocked if they beat the Saints, lost to the Cardinals, Jags, and Rams? I wouldn't. Like
Me
there's a
neither.
possibility they could go on a 3-game losing streak after this week. And week to week, I mean, teams fight. These are paid players. So not that the Saints should win, but I don't know. I don't look at the 49ers and say that they're this team that we can just pencil in wins. I'm sorry. Like it's gonna be a week to week thing. And
Mhm.
I don't see many blowouts on this schedule. I do have them at 10 wins. I do.
Me too.
But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be smooth sailing. There's going to be ups and downs this season. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be wins where we're saying things like it just is what it is. Sean says, I actually think Tom just has hands. Yes, we've been looking for a tight end too, anyways. Nobody catches. I think he sticks here to eat my Pearsall crow. Yeah, I
Here
mean,
to eat my
listen, the thing
Pearsall
about
Crow.
Ricky is that he's a good player. They just got to get him more free releases. But he's dude, he gets loose, man. He's tough to
Ricky's all right, man.
he's a tough cover in the open field. And if you can get him those free releases, man, he's gonna
He all
cook.
right. Mhm.
He's a good route runner. Nakfa says defense as a collective was dope. Just saying DBs was weak link. Yeah, I mean, I would say as a whole, yes, they're probably the weak link. I understand what you're saying. There was a lot more that we wanted to get to, but it's 9 o'clock. I got to run. Monday Night Football's on. Also, I'm sure you guys want to check that out. Appreciate you guys for checking out cover 2. We'll be back next week. As always, Coach, appreciate you, everybody in the chat. Thank you for your contribution.